Good evening to everyone, and I would like to getting into the presentation directly. So, our topic is for today is laser arachnids, a much ignored jewels of nature. So, before getting into the laser arachnids, we need to know what are arachnids first. So, I can guess you all know about arachnids, but still, arachnids are invertebrate animals that belongs to phylum Arthropoda and class Arachnida. Simply, you can say all the members of class Arachnida are commonly known as arachnids. They may contain about 1 lakh named species or described species. So, what are the identification characters of arachnida? A large number of arachnids are terrestrial in nature. They all have few common features, which are they all have one fused head and thorax, which is scientifically known as cephalothorax or prosoma, and followed by an abdomen, which is also known as opistosoma. One thing they have common in they have 4 pairs of legs connected to their cephalothorax. They doesn't have any antenna or wings, so they have 2 pairs of appendages in front of their cephalothorax, that is chelicera and pedipalps. They respire by their one organ which is known as book lungs. The arachnida is one of the most diverse group of living animals worldwide. Uh, they includes many orders like spiders, scorpions, tailless scorpions, whip scorpions, mites, short-tailed whip scorpions, ticks, etc. So here you can see in this slide um, how many arachnid orders present in India. So first of all, order Acari, which commonly known as mites and ticks, their total number is unknown due to their small size and less study, obviously. And thereafter, Amblypygi, which is commonly known as tailless whip scorpion, till date only 8 species is known from India. And order Arani, the most studied group of arachnida, which is spiders, there are near about 1800 species described from India till date, but their exact number is unknown because no recent checklist has been published. So thereafter comes harvestmen or all the members of order of Pheliones. Their total number is also unknown, but the diversity is really huge. So Palpigridae, commonly known as mycoscorpion, there are only 4 species reported from India. Pseudoscorpion, there are 169 species. Schizomida or small short-tailed scorpion, which is 6 species only known. And after spider, the most studied group is scorpions in arachnida. There are 150 species only. Wind scorpions or solifugi, there are only 21 species. And lastly, Telephonida, or commonly known as whip-tailed scorpion, they only have 5 species in India. So here in this slide, you can see all the members of class Arachnida and their size diversity also. If you look at Acari or the mite and tick group, the smallest size of them is 0.1 millimeter, whereas the largest arachnid is one of scorpion, which is 200, which can be reached 210 millimeters. So their size diversity is really extreme. So now we all know about arachnids and their diversity, their size diversity. Now, what are laser arachnids? Obviously, many of the laser arachnids are small in size, but this is not the main reason to call them laser arachnids. They are known as laser arachnids only because we know very less about them. This is why we call them laser arachnids. And the term laser arachnid first coined by an Australian arachnologist named Mark S. Harvey. He keep few orders to call them laser arachnid, which are Amblypygi, which is tailless whip scorpion, Telephonida, which is whip-tailed scorpions, Schizomida, short-tailed scorpions, Palpigridae or microscorpions, Ricunelli or hooded tick spider, Solifugae or wine scorpions, etc. All these ordered together, he calls laser arachnids. Ananda.
Here, here we will talk a brief words about the evolution of arachnids. Arachnids have a long ancestor. At least 3 recent order appeared in the fossil record during the Silurian and Devonian. Here you can see, if you see my cursor. And most of the remaining extinct order appeared by the Carboniferous. Scorpion possess a longest lineage and have been found in upper Silurian marine sediment. And you will be amazed to know that all early arachnids were aquatic in nature. Morphological evidence suggests that Silurian scorpions were all aquatic. There were another extinct order known trigonobatrids of arachnid. They appear by the upper Silurian and disappeared by the end of Carboniferous. They were the first order showed evidence of terrestrialization in arachnids group, which was followed by several acariform mites and pseudoscorpions in late Devonian. Somewhat surprisingly, many of these Devonian species are remarkably similar to recent species. I mean, they have achieved a very little change during the long period of evolutionary course. The Carboniferous represent the earliest records of Solifuge, Opilionis, Rigniculi, Amblypygi, Europygi, and Arani, I mean spider. But the first Cyzomida and Palpigradi did not appear until the Tertiary. So, Cyzomid and Palpigradi are relatively newer taxa in arachnid evolution. Here in right side, you can see two cladograms. The first one, number 1, is made by Ugold and Paulus in 1979, and the second cladogram, number 2, is made by Sluge. Ugold, in the first cladogram made by Ugold, they did not put Cyzomida, so it is a little bit incomplete tree. And from recent evidence, tree true by Sluge is well supported. But more research in the light of molecular biology needs to reshape it. Here you can see pseudoscorpion and solifuge make a clade that is closely related to scorpion and followed by opilion. Both the cladogram said Riniculi and Acari are close relative to each other, and morphologically Cyzomida and Europygi are very similar, you know, and they jointly with Amblypygi from the clade Pedipalp, which is in most evolutionary relatives of Arani, I mean spider, which is most familiar to us. Palpigradi also closely reside to this clade, but we need more research to reveal out their phylogenetic relationship. Devu?
Yes. So there are a few orders of laser arachnid present in India, which are Amblypygi, Palpigradi, Schizomida, Solifuge, and Theliphonidae. In India, except for these few orders, we also have 2 other orders of arachnid, which are Opilionis or harvestman and Pseudoscorpionus, or commonly known as Pseudoscorpion. If we talk about Indian scenario, we also can keep these 2 orders inside our very own laser arachnid diversity, because they are hugely diverse in India, and but very less studied. So we can keep them inside our laser arachnid diversity, but because they are very poorly studied, even their exact number is unknown from India. So I think this is not the right time to say something about them. So, order Amblypygi. Amblypygi is an ancient order of class Arachnida, known as tailless with scorpion, because the flagellum, the terminal flagellum, is absent, which is otherwise present in Europygi and other groups. So Amblypygi literally means blunt tail. So if we talk about their identification character, which spiders or Amblypygi can be small to large arachnids. They have a few characters, which is they are large and spiny pedipalps. Their chelicera is 2 segmented. They have 4 pairs of legs. Here I want to mention one thing. The first pair of legs is very long, thin, and antenniform, which is antenna-like. They use these legs to sense the environment, sense their surroundings, and the rest 3 pairs of legs they use for walking. So, whip scorpion is a whip scorpion. So you can easily identify them by these characters. So they are the sister. They are considered to be the most similar to Schizomida, and all three orders share numerous features in common, which is their antenna-like first pair of legs. Which spiders occurs in the most tropical and subtropical regions of the world. And that's it. On the next slide. So here are 5 families are reported from the world of Amblypygi, which is Charinidae, Charontidae, Paracharontidae, Phrenicidea, and Phrenidae. So these are the 5 families. And on the please.
Here the world map shows the most number of Amblypygi species found in Mexico and Brazil, that is the Central and South America. Brazilian rainforest really contains a large diversity of whip spider, but moderate number of diversity yet now reported from India, East Africa, and Southeast Asia. Also Australia, America, and some part of Africa. Mediterranean region also contains a small diversity of this order, but they are totally absent from Palearctic region.
So here are Indian Amblypygi species. In India, we till now we only have reported only 2 families, which is Charinidae and Phrenicidea. In the Charinidae, we have 2 genus, which is Charinus and Sarax. Charinus is from Kolkata, West Bengal, and there are 2 subspecies of Sarax cochinensis and the Sarax cochinensis species itself. So here are the distribution map. Here are the distribution map of Amblypygi family in India. You can see. So there are another family which is Phrenicidea, which is only 1 genus known, which is Phreniacus, Phreniacus andrensis, Phreniacus nigrimachus, and Phipsoni. They are from Andhra Pradesh and Kerala. Next slide, please.
Here I will tell you about their habitats and where they reside. Generally, they prefer tropical and subtropical regions. Their habitat can range from forest to grassland to dry mountain areas where they nest themselves in rock crevices or under debris, but they have been also found under logs or rotting woods. Generally, 75% humidity and 70 to 75 degree Fahrenheit temperature is ideal for them. Tailless whippion generally live anywhere between 5 to 10 years. They mainly feeds upon the small insect, cricket, mealworm, and cockroaches. And sometimes they also feed upon termites and woodlouse also. They are very territorial in nature. They claim a small patch, maybe half a meter, and defend it from other whip scorpions. Their preferred microhabitat should provide limiting resources like prey, predator defense, or access to mate. They make temporary retreats, which are also known as refuges. Refuges typically follow a shape suitable to accommodate dorsoventrally flattened Amblypygi body, such as in cracks or crevices or cave walls or tropical tree buttress, or under debris like rock and logs, or in abandoned burrows, or even in termite molds. But all whip spider eager to return to their refuge after a night out to avoid their many predators, including their peers. So if you found a whip spider in a certain spot and could not manage to take a shot, photographs, don't worry. Probably the next day you will find the same individual in nearby place again. They specifically prefer old forest with little disturbance. So even some tree-dwelling species appear to rely on large old-growth trees for their territory formation. So selective logging that done by our forest department or etc., that they cut down the old trees for logging negatively impacts and their on their population size, and their population size decrease. The front 2 pair of legs of Amblypygi are elongated, and they work like a sensory structure, and they are called antenniform legs. They use their antenniform legs in way a blind person use his stick, except in addition of feeling their environment, which spider can smell, taste, and hear with their antenniform legs. These fearsome predator also gentle lovers also. Generally, they make pair with one male and one female, and they they stay the total mating period, and after offspring get dispersed, they reside in the same place and close together. The witch spider courtship ritual can last up to 8 hours and involve ample of antenniform legs striking by each other member by pair. Courtship involves the mating male deposit stock spermatophore, which have one or more sperm masses into the tip onto the ground, and using the pedipalp to guide the female over them. When the young hatch, they climb over the mother's back. Here you can see in picture, and they which fall off before the first mold, and if they fall over them for after first mold, they do not survive. Amblypyge offspring communicate with their mother by their antenniform legs. It is very interesting behavior found among all over the lesser arachnids. Generally, they carry their young in their back.
So order Pulpigridae, which is known as microscorpions. They are the sister group of Theliphonida, and generally they are near about very small. They are near about 3 mm or less than 3 mm in length. They have a thin, pale, segmented integument and a segmented abdomen that terminate a tail, which is nothing other than a flagellum. The flagellum is segmented and near about 15 segment like part, which known as article. The total length of the flagellum can be more than half of the length of the animal, and each article bear many bristles. That's why their flagellum looks like very similar to a bottle brush. They don't have any eyes. Their carapace is divided into two plates between the third and fourth pair of legs. So what are the identifying characters of Pulpigridae? They are extremely, first of all, they are extremely small in size. They have a pedipalp, which is leg-like, and a pair of three segmented chelicid, and ovate abdomen with a long terminal flagellum. The flagellum bears articles. Their relationships is difficult to access, but they are definitely close to the three groups, which is commonly known as pedipalpi, which are Schizomida, Amblypyge, and Europyge. So, next slide, please. So here are the two families which is known from worldwide, which is Euchaenidae and Prochaenidae.
It is very interesting here when we look over the world map for Pulpigridae distribution. Madagascar and Italy shows the most number of species, but from biogeographic point of view, they contain different type of habitat in these two countries. Most of the country represent a very little diversity of them, but if we think this distribution pattern is clearly indicating about their less studied group they are, we need more and more naturalists and scientists to explore them, to bring them in the light of science.
So here are the Indian Pulpigridae species from Euchaenidae family. So only one genus is reported from India, which is Euchaena, and they are from Uttar Pradesh, Pondicherry, and Thailand. Oh, the Thailand species may be existing in extreme northeastern parts of India. Next slide, please. So here in this map, you can see the distribution of Pulpigridae.
Pulpigridae live interstitially in wet tropical and subtropical soils. A few species have been found in shallow coral sands or in tropical beaches also, but they have been found in caves and underground space. They need a damp environment to survive, and they always hide from light so that they can commonly found in moist earth and under buried stone or rocks. Generally, they believe to be predator just like their relatives and feeding on minuscule animal from their habitat, consuming arthropod eggs or small arthropod. But in some Pulpigridae, reported that they feed on cyanobacteria, I mean blue-green algae. Cyanobacteria are probably the oldest cellular organism on Earth, dated at 3.5 billion year old. Most of the cyanobacteria considered to be clearly photoautomorphic organisms, but some are chemolithotropic as well. In addition to the predator, as well as Necrophagous, omnivorous, sarcophagus, bacteriophagous, and pulpigrade found in cave also. This non-predaceous food selection represent an unexpected and extraordinary feeding specialization among their mostly predaceous arachnids. Generally, they lay a very few number of eggs at a time. But when the egg mature, they guard their egg. Here you can see on the right side, it is the cyanobacteria upon which this pulpigrade prey upon.
So, order Schizomida. Schizomida is an arachnid order. They are also teeny in size, but they are much larger than Pulpigrade, which is they are generally less than 5 millimeter in size. As of 2005, there are only 230 species described worldwide. So Schizomida is a sister group of Telephonida. So they share a numerous common feature, which is the first antennifront leg. And if we talk about their identification character, they are small arachnids with robust pedipalps and a pair of two segmented chelicerae. They also have 4 pairs of legs, of which the first is, as I said before, is elongated and whip-like, and an elongated abdomen. They have a short flagellum. They are also considered to a sister group of Europygi and Amblypygi. These all 3 orders share numerous common features, such as their first leg, the antenniform leg. Next slide, please. So here are the only two families are reported from world, which is Hubraridae and Protoschizomydi.
The highest number of schizomid diversity found in Australia. You can see it clearly. But do you know why? Simply because Mark Harvey works there, and he is now the most prominent lesser arachnid expert in the world. Out of 53 species still described in Australia, 52 were described by Mark Harvey alone, and another one by Gravin. So we need more and more survey, more eyes, more expert, and above all, more interest on them. Living legend E.O. Wilson has identified schizomids among the groups of organisms that desperately need experts to work on them. The oldest known fossil of them is also known from mid-Cretaceous Burmese amber from Myanmar, that is on South and Southeast Asia, and also Madagascar and India and Latin America. When they were close together, I mean Gondwanaland played a major role in their biogeographic evolution. So we need more researchers to study on them from India also.
So in India, we have only one species, one family of Schizomydi, which is Hubbardii, and a few genus, which is Schizomas, Ovozomas, Tritheris, and Musomas. One from Jharkhand, another one from West Bengal, and a few from Meghalaya. Sorry, one from Meghalaya and one from Maharashtra. So show the distribution map. So here is the distribution map of Schizomydi from India.
Schizomydi are generally found in the edaphic fauna of tropical and subtropical forest. They being located in the upper soil layer among decaying leaves and twigs. However, it can also be found under stones, in termite moles, or rotten logs or caves. Schizomyid generally primarily a tropical creature in nature, and they restricted in damp habitat and litter system or under bark, etc. And they have very short flagellum. It is one interesting characteristic of them. And they have divided sternum also. They are the first pair of leg use like antenna, just like in case of Amblypyge. And Cygomid are capable of very fast movement over short distance, both backward as well as in forward. The interesting story about their mating system. Mating of Cygomid is unique in the flagellum play an essential role. The male taps the female with his first pair of legs and then turns around the peasant of his flagellum to her. The female takes the flagellum into her chelicerae, after which the male deposits a spermatophore on the substratum. The male then moves backward and female follows until the reaches spermatophore and take into it to her gonopore. Prior to laying several eggs, the female builds a small brood chamber in the soil and the eggs are guarded and remain attached to her abdomen. After hatching, the female and the juvenile emerge from brood chamber and disperse. The juvenile molt several times before reaching mature. The video will not play, so I
skip that part. So solifuge are commonly known as the camel spider or sun spider or wine scorpion, but obviously they are not spider or scorpion because they belong to a different order, which is solifuge. There are 1,000 species of 153 genera are described worldwide till date. Like other arachnids, they also have two body parts, which is prosoma or the cephalothorax and opistosoma or the abdomen. They have relatively large chelicera. In many species, they use the chelicera for like jaws, and even in some species, they use it for stridulation. Many of the solifuge species live in mostly arid regions of the world. They are generally opportunistic feeder. They feeding on ground-dwelling arthropods and other small animals. If we talk about their identification character, they are comparatively larger than other lesser arachnids. They have two segmented chelicera and 4 pairs of legs, of which the first pair lacks terminal claws. They have racket organs on the venter of coxophore. This racket organ is most important in their identification. They consider most similar to pseudoscorpion. This is unbelievable but true. In morphological aspects, they are very similar to pseudoscorpions. They both have enlarged patella on the all legs. Next slide, please. So they almost have 12 families throughout the world. You can see in this slide, and here is the distribution map on the please.
Species found in USA. Another interesting thing is they are absent in Australia, although it contains suitable habitat for them. Probably this cause lies on their biogeography. India has a moderate number of solifuge diversity, but we need more study to reveal out more about them.
So in India, we have 3 families of solifuge. The first one is Dasydidae. The only single genus and single species are reported, and in the Gallidae, the most members are known from India. And next slide, please. And thereafter, the family Rhagodaidae. There are few genus which is Rhagodoma, Rhagodima, Rhagoderma are known from India. They are from Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Assam, and Tamil Nadu. So here you can see the distribution map, all the species from India. You can see here where they distributed Kashmir to even West Bengal and Gujarat, Rajasthan. So they are mainly from the arid regions. Next slide, please. Continue.
And this solifuge, you know, the solifuge are also known as camel spider or wind spider or sun spider. Do you know why? Because the Latin name of solifuge means those that flee from the sun. Although the solifuge is considered to be indicator of desert biome, they occur widely in semi-desert, shrub, and some species also live in grassland, forest habitat also. Solifuge generally inhabit in warm and arid habitat, including virtually all warm desert and shrubland. During the daytime, they shelter from the intense sun in burrows or beneath the rocks or logs or under any concealment. They emerge out at night and hunt. They chase their prey across the ground, and even they climb up walls and trees also. Camel spider really have a short lifespan. They only live 18 months on an average. So they are mainly carnivorous or omnivorous in nature. Most species feeds on termites or beetles or some other small ground-dwelling arthropods. They are aggressive hunter and voracious opportunistic feeder, and they have been recorded to feed upon snakes, small lizard, and rodent also. Various other predators like bat, scorpion, toad, and insectivorous bird may prey upon solifuge. And one interesting thing is about their mating system. A solifuge male emits spermatophore on the ground and then insert it with his chelicerae in the female genital pore. To do this, he flings the male on her back. Female then digs a burrow into which they lay eggs. Eggs are generally 50 to 200 in numbers, and in some species they guard this egg until they hatch. Because when they guard these eggs, the female don't feed anything during this total time. There are several myths about them. Some people believe they are venomous in nature, but really they are not venomous in nature. Although their bite can be painful, and they have really strong chelicerae. And in South America, there are a myth about them. They because they are known as hair cutter or beard cutter. I mean, they believe they are scissor-like with their scissor-like chelicerae, they can cut your hair or beard, and they can pull out this hair or beard to their subterranean nest. But this is totally false. This is just a myth. During World War II and World War I, British troops that reside in Middle East, especially in Abu Dhabi or etc., they collect this solifuge. And just like India, here we can see often the cock fights. I mean, two cock fights and one bait over them. Just like they collect solifuge and they place the bait on their fighting outcomes, and they call them gerrymanders.
Order Telephonida, the other name of order Telephonida, or formerly they are known as Europygi or Europygi. They are the invertebrate animals and they belongs to class Arachnida also. They are commonly known as whip scorpions or vinegarum. Why they are named whip scorpion? Because of their terminal tail, which is nothing other than flagellum. And why vinegarum? Vinegarum comes from the word vinegar, because they have ability to spray a liquid which contains acetic acid, which smells literally like vinegar. That's why their name comes from their ability to spray acetic acid, which is vinegar. So if we talk about their identification character, they can be medium to large in size comparative to other lesser arachnids. They have robust or large pedipalps and a pair of two-segmented chelicerae. They also have 4 pairs of legs. The first pair of legs are somewhat elongated, and they have an abdomen which is subrectangular in shape. They have long multi-segmented flagellum, which I just talked before. Their common name whip scorpions, which is derived from their whip-like tail or flagellum and they share some common feature with Schizomida, the repugnatorial abdominal gland in common. Next slide, please. So in world there are only single family of whiptail spider is known, which is Telephonida. Continue.
It is very interesting when we look upon the world map of Europygi distribution. Southeast Asian tropical rainforests contain the highest diversity of them, but except some country of West Africa, they are absent from whole continent. But a moderate number of diversity also found in Latin America. They are very common thing. If you carefully look up, over the map, and you will find they occurs where the moist tropical or subtropical forest present. Surely India contains such habitat, but they are not well explored yet all. We represent this order with just 5 species. which is undoubtedly a understated number.
So here in India, you can say, as I said before, the only 5 species from 3 to 4 genus, which is Europractus assamensis, obviously from Assam, Labochirus from Karnataka, and Theliphonus ceparis, which is from Tamil Nadu. Hypoctonus is from Pankhabari, West Bengal, and there another Labochirus which is from Karnataka also. So here is the distribution map. You can see only 5 species.
During the daytime, they remain out of the sight in burrows, and they dig this with their pedipalps. They can often be found under logs, boards, rotting woods, rocks, and other natural dark places. Most swift scorpion occur in moist or seasonally moist forest-based habitat in tropical or subtropical environment. They are carnivorous in nature, nocturnal hunter, and feeding mostly on insect, millipede, scorpion, and other terrestrial small arthropod and they are isopod, but sometimes on worms and slug also. The interesting thing is about their mating system. Male secretes spermatophore, which is transferred to female following the courtship behavior, in which the male holds the ends of the female first leg in his chelicet. The spermatophore is deposited on the ground and picked up by the female using her genital area. In some genera, the male then uses the pedipalp to push out the spermatophore into her body. After a few months, the female will dig a large burrow and seal herself inside this burrow. Up to 40 eggs are discarded, which are membranous wood sac, preserve moisture and remain attached to the genital operculum and the fifth segment of the mother's ventral opisthosoma. The female refuses to eat and holds the opisthosoma in an upward arch so that the brood sac do not touch the ground for next few months as the eggs develop into the post-embryo. The white young hatch from the eggs and climb on their mother's back, attached to themselves with their special sakai. They look like the miniature adult but with bright red pedipalps, and they leave the burrow. Mother may live up to the more 2 years and the young grow slowly, going through the molds, and about 4 years take to reach their adulthood. Generally, they have a lifespan of 8 to 10 years. Here you can see the small offspring, I mean baby Europygi are carrying over. Yes.
So here is order Opiliones, which is commonly known as the harvestman or daddy longleg. Although there are 2 other animal group which is known as daddy longleg. Daddy longleg, the daddy longleg flies, which is a member of family Tipulidae, and the daddy longleg spider, which are the member of family Phocidae, and obviously the order Opiliones, also known as daddy longleg. So as of 2017, there are over 6,650 species of harvestmen have been discovered worldwide. Although their total number is unknown, they may exceed more than 10,000. So the order Opiliones includes arachnids known as daddy longleg. As I say, they have very long legs before. On the please continue.
And they have no silk glands, and therefore they do not build webs. Most harvestmen have a post-traumatic defense scent glands that secrete a peculiar smelling fluid when they disturb. In some species, the fluid contains noxious quinones. Normally, these all harvestman species live for just 1 year, and this is the gregarious behavior in Opiliones. Many species of harvestman easily tolerate the member of their own species, with the aggregation with many individuals often found at a protected site near water. This aggregation may found from 200 to 70,000 members in certain areas. Gregarious behavior is likely a strategy against climatic odds, but also against predator. Combining this effect and scent secretion and reducing, they reduce their probability of any particular individual being eaten. Many of species are omnivorous in nature. Yeah, they eat primarily on small insect and all kind of plant material and fungi. They are some are scavengers, some feed on dead organisms, bird dung, and some fecal material. Such a broad range of feeding behavior is generally unusual in case of arachnids, which are typically the arachnids, generally typically pure predator in nature, and they use their second pair of leg, just like the amblypygi, or just like Cygomid, or just like Europygi, as antenna and to explore their environment. Although some of them are parthenogenetic in nature, but most harvestmen reproduce sexually, and mating include direct copulation. The female lays egg, and after from that the immature comes out.
So here is order Pseudoscorpionis, which commonly known as false or pseudoscorpion, or also known as book scorpion. They are family members of the most families of pseudoscorpions are predaceous in nature. They possess venom glands located in both chiral fingers, and they can able to kill much larger prey compared to their own body size.
Here you can see the highest number of pseudoscorpion diversity found in US, that is 426 species. After being a mega diverse country, we just have 169 species, but it is very much understated number for them. Because of their small size and no such expert are working on their diversity, it is occurring here. You will find them here and there and everywhere, but most time we just overlook because of they are so tiny. Pseudoscorpion are here you can see the larger size of their prey where they are attacking on. Pseudoscorpion are generally beneficial for humans since they prey on some beetle or some larva or some grain pest, and some mites and some small flies also. The venom gland or duct usually located at the mobile finger. I mean the scorpion-like finger, in this. Yeah. The venom is used to capture and immobilize the pseudoscorpion prey. During digestion, the pseudoscorpion pour a mildly corrosive fluid over the prey and ingests their liquefied remains. Pseudoscorpions spin silk, but they don't have spinneret on their back. I mean, what the spider have. They have the silk gland on their chelicera. And sometimes it is also so that pseudoscorpion carry out by Phoraceae. Phoraceae, I mean, and say here you can see what we mean by Phoraceae. A form of Phoraceae is a form of commensalism in which the organism use another one for purpose of transport. They cling the legs or bristles of Opilionis, beetles, flies, dragonflies, or other flies, and with their pedipalps, and enjoys a free ride when the relatively large creature moves. And this hitchhiking phenomena is very common dispersal mechanism for them, as they did not own any such dispersal mechanism of their own at all. Here I am showing the distribution map of Riccinui. Although Riccinui does not occur from India, but most of them are New World members. But they also found in Europe and Africa also. They are quite tick-like in appearance. Here you can see. Sometimes you may ignore them by thinking of mite also. They are 5 to 10 mm in size. Only one fossil Asian species from Carboniferous era found in Hebei, China. I mean, and our neighbor country has one fossil record. But probably, if their probability to find in India is also negligible. But we can represent them from our fossil fauna. Here is how they look like. And thank you. Thank you for listening all.
Thank you.